Hello everyone, and welcome to the first video of this year. It's been a bit considering it is in fact almost March, and this break took a little bit longer than I had originally planned it for. I'm uploading this video without having that new intro that I was talking about done because I feel like I've waited a little bit long enough, and I'll get it done when I get it done. I just have had no motivation recently. So yeah, but I hope you all enjoyed this video. It is definitely more of a laid-back kind of illustration video today, because I don't really feel like putting fan art up at the moment. And I already had these drawings sketched out from my drawing classes at school, which is another main reason as to why I haven't really been uploading recently, is because of me being in theater. Our school musical has kind of taken up a decent chunk of my time recently because of staying late for rehearsals and stuff. But that will be over soonish, and so I will be able to post videos more frequently. Yeah. In this video, specifically, I am drawing two of my original characters, Onyx and Bal, who originally were both made for individual roleplays that both eventually ended up getting shut down because of inactivity. So I kind of decided to rework their designs, well, at least Bal's design, but the color palette a little bit, and then kind of rework their backstories into a webcomic that I'm trying to work out at some point. I still kind of need to get all of the characters and the basics for the story laid out, which may actually become a video in itself at some point if anyone ever wants to see that. But yeah, I will go ahead and kind of introduce these characters to you. So the first character I'm drawing here is Onyx himself. He is my lovely little vampire-inspired character. He looks just a vampire, honestly. He may as well be, although that was not his original intent. So originally I had him as this character who was inspired heavily of a vampire. He was meant to look kind of scary and you wouldn't want to talk to him, whereas in reality he is just this really loving and overall very, very sweet kind of guy. And so I kind of kept that with his design now. All of the black and dark grays and the red colors. I don't know, I've always just kind of really loved that aesthetic. But yeah, he is a fashion designer, which is why you see him wearing this cloak. He specializes in making costumes. He loves making any of those really out there outfits, kind of. He's done it for years and is his main job, kind of. So within my kind of new story webcomic that I'm kind of starting to plan out, he is still this fashion designer character. However, he is a part of the demons, the demon branch of the social world. I guess I should probably explain the actual story, which is 3 different realms. You have hell, heaven, and then earth, which is kind of the living realm. So it's kind of one of those where all 3 realms work together to kind of ensure balance in the universe. And so Onyx is one of the members of the demons within hell. He is one of those who kind of oversees all of the people who go down there and ensure that they are treated still fairly, however, do receive punishment to the degree that is needed for whatever crimes they've committed. He's kind of lower on the ranks in that term because there are 5 main characters within this story who I will all draw at some point and make a full video on their designs. However, he is one of the lower parts of that, not in that main cast of people, who is kind of ensuring that everyone else in demons, like, do their job. He's just one of the employees, but he still kind of goes up to that living realm to, like, make sure that everything is going well, as all of the other demons do. Honestly, I can't describe much more about him without giving too much spoilers as to the story itself, which will have to be explained in another video. But the basics of it is that he's one of my favorite characters, and I love drawing him a ton. If you'll ever see any of my sketchbooks, if I decide to do like a sketchbook rewind of some sort, he is in there a lot. I draw him frequently whenever I'm just kind of doodling. His character is easy to draw, and he has a very recognizable silhouette once you kind of learn who he is. I'm not quite sure what else to say here. As you can see, this entire script there is no script actually, it's me ranting for a couple minutes. But yeah, another interesting fact is that of Onyx, when I originally created him, he was a part of this like post-apocalyptic world where my friend was running this and had basically split the world, where specifically where I live in America, into like several different parts that had all been treated because of this like nuclear bomb that had set off. It had kind of split the world like into several pieces, and each part of these lands were like had different effects to them because of this bomb. And he lived in the wasteland part of it, where creatures of shadow had formed and had been mutated. So one of the main reasons he was based off a vampire is because these creatures needed to live off of blood to survive. Otherwise, my version of him would he would pass out and turn into the shadow creature if he did not have that supply of blood. However, he hated finding humanoid blood, so he always stuck to animals, specifically ones that were dying, and he would not be affected by any diseases or anything because that would just simply power him more. It was a kind of cool side effect of it. But I'm not quite sure how true that is still, because it was for a specific, mechanic within that story. So yeah, that is Onyx's character. The overall design of him is, very simple. He has that, kind of fancy Victorian-style ruffled shirt, a pair of black jeans, because I refuse to draw dress pants on characters. And he has that long, it's kind of a fake velvet cape, but I don't know how to add that kind of texture within a drawing like this that's really simple and honestly quick to do. And his hair is very fluffy. Another thing, I struggled so much with drawing his earring it's kind of like one of those sparkle stars that dangles down. And as you can see in the recording, I just struggled so much with that eventually I gave up and just gave him a singular black stud earring, because that was so much easier than anything else. I promise you, if I ever do another drawing of him, I will actually make sure that all parts of his design are there, because he's one of my favorite people to draw, and he deserves so much better than this quick little sketch that I did. And that should be finishing up with his art. Moving on to our next character, this is Val. He is I'm not sure about their pronouns currently. Val is one of the people who I'm kind of still figuring out the full bits of their design and everything. But they were originally mated for another post-apocalyptic kind of world, except for this one was a nuclear warfare winter type thing, which is why it's he's been mutated to be kind of this bird-like creature. He can in fact fly. That was one of the main design points, is that everyone in this roleplay were made to like be based off of one or so animals. So each majority of them either had a mask or like a costume that made them look like that animal, or they were just mutated like Val. He is kind of like a pink centered character because I love the color pink, if you can't tell by literally all of my branding. But yeah, there's not really much to say, again, because I haven't figured out all of his backstory quite yet. But the main parts of it is that within the story, he's also been turned into the same, like, brought into that same original story that I'm working on as Onyx. He is on the opposite side of the spectrum and is made into the angels of it. Which, you know, they both are seeing over and making sure everything has order. He's just in charge of those who have done good in their lives and making sure that they live comfortably in the afterlife. There is, overall in this entire story, little punishment unless you are someone who has done extremely bad things and very much deserve it. But the whole world is very, like, forgiving and overall tries to do a judgment based off of everything you have done in your lives. So if you've done, like, small acts but have tried to make up, like, have physically made up and, like, put in effort to make sure that you've changed and that your efforts, like, kind of get made up for, but you still recognize that what you had done was bad, you will be forgiven. But if you're just someone who made a mistake and didn't try to atone for it, you deserve to be in hell, according to this world's law. He, like Onyx, is one of those characters who kind of just does what he is told. However, he is one of the people who kind of scouts and, like, as you can see in this drawing, make sure that everything is going well. But that's about it for this video. I don't have much else to say about each of these characters. If I ever get around to drawing all of the main characters for this story, I will definitely go more into detail about each of them, and that video will be a lot longer. But as for now, this is about good. I've been talking for about 13 minutes now. I need to talk for like 14, 15 maybe. But these characters all hold special places in my heart, for these two specifically are my favorite duo to draw. I just find like their whole dynamic of being like pretty much kind of opposites in personality and style to be one of those fun of like friendship duos to draw. It's also the fact that they have like that 1 foot height difference, because Onyx is 6'6" and Val is 5'6". So there's a visible height difference between the two of them. And it just makes it even more fun to draw because Onyx can very easily pick Val up because of the fact that he's also very liked. And yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. I will hopefully get more out in the future upcoming months or whenever I decide to post again. Honestly, I think my next videos will just be like smaller, quick like inkings and colorings of drawings I've already done. And we'll continue on from there. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, night, whatever it is wherever you are watching this, and I will see you all next time. And then we can get into our final bits of the full artworks for each of them. This is Casey Gaming, signing off. Bye!